Even if you are connected, even if you are there, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to express their free will and use their autonomy, and they are supposed to be their own being. And just because they do those things doesn't mean they're bad kids.
I get the sarcastic people that's, well, I bet your kids give you a lot of this and a lot of that. And
by the way, our brains aren't fully developed until we're 28.
I see you're parenting, your kids run the house. Your kids run the household. Do your kids run your house?
No.
We are back. Episode 31. This is, and I'm looking for my partner, and it's just me today. It's kind of sad. But so here's the deal. I hope everybody had a unbelievable Christmas. Drew is good. We are at Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma, and she could not be here because she is doing hair. If you don't know, still at Paul Mitchell, doing amazing things. We are bringing in the new year with Riley Green and Ella Langley tomorrow night. So freaking excited. But don't turn this off. I know most of y'all tune in for Drew because she is the star of the show. But I have got Michelle Kenney coming in today with me. You guys are going to love this. She is a parental coach. And she is amazing. She has her Instagram is Peace and Parenting. I'll be introducing her in just a second. She will be with us to share all of her. You guys are going to want to hear this. It's going to be, I'm just telling y'all, it's going to be really cool. But right before we get to her, so we're at Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma. We're trying to get all our people here with us to celebrate, bring the new year in, some of our friends, family. And I know some of y'all have been here because I see y'all all the time. I see so many of you guys. And y'all, I'm trying to bring everybody in, and they're like, how do we get in? Where do we go? Because it's so confusing once you get here, because this place is huge. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm sure you know where it's going, but Vicky, one of my wife's best friends, my best friend too, I knew her first, but that's a story for another day. We couldn't get her. We're like, Vicky, what are you doing? And she's driving in the parking garage, and we're like, we told you to come down to the light. So we're like, hold up, pull up Life 360. Vicky is so much, I shouldn't even say best friend, she's family. She's in our Life 360 family circle. So we pull her up, she's in the wrong parking garage. We're like, Vicky, you gotta come down to the valet where the light is. So again, we don't have to make this stuff up. Life 360 comes in key because this is Talking Back, powered by Life 360. I'm Billy, and I know you know what comes next, but she's not here, so usually Drew. All right, guys, without further ado, this is Michelle Kenney. I've already kind of given a little bit of background about you. I'm excited. Told them I'm without my sidekick today. It's really weird. 30 episodes with my little buddy, and now today. But I got a new buddy in studio with me. So, kind of in studio via satellite. But I am so glad to have you. Michelle Kenney, you have a podcast. You have an Instagram page. What's your podcast?
Everything is Peace and Parenting. Instagram page is Peace and Parenting. Podcast is Peace and Parenting. Facebook, everywhere is Peace and Parenting. Or you can look up Michelle Kenney, but it's all
Peace and Parenting. I love that. I love how all that just flows. So, all that being said, Michelle, have you always been a peace and parentful parent? What's the story behind it all?
Well, I started out as a high school teacher.
Really? Okay.
I was a high school teacher, Santa Monica High School, and I was a decent high school teacher. Kids liked me. But it didn't translate to parenting because all my triggers started to come up, and all my the way in which I was parented and the conventional ways my parents came to me. And so at the beginning, the first few years, I tried to really use timeout, control. When I got frustrated, I would yell, and I felt really bad about it. And so I made a huge change when my oldest was 5, and she's 19 now. And so I just revamped my whole parenting when I found this ideology called connective parenting.
Connective parenting. I love that. Peace and
Yeah,
parenting, connective parenting, that all just flows so nice.
good.
That
So
goes
good.
right. I mean, I just, it's really weird. You popped up on my page, I don't know, golly, a couple years ago maybe, and I was drawn to you ever since. Love what you stand. So, 19-year-old, and then I think, do you have two daughters?
Yeah, I was 16-year-old and 19-year-old.
16 and 19, and you guys, so tell us how, so when the 19-year-old was, I mean, when she was coming up, 4, 5, 6, 7, I mean, you said you were a yelling parent.
Yeah.
Was it so let's go through those stages. I mean, what literally was it that was just kind of like, this is, I'm
I
tired of
mean,
the yelling.
yeah, I would go to bed every night telling myself, don't yell tomorrow. Why are you yelling at your kids? You don't want to be a yeller. You came from a house of yelling. Why would you possibly yell at your kids? How can you, and so I would shame myself and beg myself to not yell the next day. But I think because I didn't know what else to do. All I knew growing up was
That's
punishments and rewards. I didn't know how to change. I didn't know what else, and I thought I had to control them. And so my whole plight in life was to control my kids, and I I realized that I needed to let go of the control in order to be a better person and be a better parent. And so I think that's kind of the path I took, is founding this connection piece really helped me, and really trusting my kids, as opposed to trying to get them to do behaviors so that I could feel okay. It was me. It was all me. It wasn't them.
I love that. I love that. So I heard two things in that was, that's all I knew. So growing up, tell us a little bit about that. What
I
you,
mean, I came from a traditional Irish Catholic family. My dad was an alcoholic. God thank that he got sober, and when my
okay,
daughter was, but
really, okay, okay,
he was a raging alcoholic our whole lives, and so I grew up in chaos. I didn't know what healthy parenting or what healthy families really looked like, and so all I knew was shame and blame and punishment and dysfunction. And I had gone to 10 years of therapy, but when you become a parent, things trigger you in a different way. When your kid just says no to you and throws their shoe down the hallway and you become totally ignited, you don't know what else to do sometimes.
So, and that's one thing that I hear a lot of is, well, I was parented this way and I turned out okay. I'm okay.
But did you? But did they? If
Did
you're
that.
parenting, if you're yelling at your kids and you're trying to control them and you're shaming them and embarrassing them, and are you okay?
Right, right. There is, I mean, and it's, I don't understand that because I almost feel like it's just, that's what their norm. I don't think they know what that's, chaos is normal for them. Chaos,
Right.
when drama is normal for them. When there is peace and there is calm, I feel like that's where it gets in. But I heard you also say, all I knew too was punishment and reward.
Yeah. That's all
So,
I knew. And as a teacher, that's what they teach you. As you know, I went to grad school, became a teacher, and they taught you punishment and reward. So I thought, oh, I'll be super attached. I was an attached parent. I breastfed, I made my own baby food. I was there all the time. I was a stay-at-home mom. I did it all. But I didn't realize that they're still going to push back. They're still going to say no. They're still going to challenge you, even if you are connected, even if you are there. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to express their free will and use their autonomy, and they are supposed to be their own being. And just because they do those things doesn't mean they're bad kids. It just means that that's part of the process.
oh, that is so good right there. So good because that's what I get the sarcastic people that's, well, I bet
Oh,
your
yeah.
kids give you a lot of this and a lot of that. And, you know, the, when they do give a lot of this and all of that, it's still in a calm, we still have a conversation. A disagreement with us is just an open conversation that, I mean, and I know because I've seen, some of your videos, especially like your last one. Let's talk about that. When you said your daughter was giving you a little bit of attitude, she was kind of
Yeah.
rude to you, and tell us about that.
She was unkind. I think she was stressed. She's a strong-willed, highly sensitive, big personality child. That's
Isn't that
why.
what we want? I mean,
Yeah.
we want
Yes,
somebody that can, I see stuff all like that all the time. It's like when you see your girl standing up and you hear them in there and you're like, get them. Yeah. And then you're like,
Yeah, that's right. Except for when they do it to you,
but
then you're like,
right.
okay. She was unkind. She said something unkind to me. She probably something that I know she didn't mean. I know that she
Yeah.
wouldn't say it in a regulated state. She was dysregulated and her brain was offline. And by the way, our brains aren't fully developed until we're 28.
Thank you.
She's 19. She's got 9 more years of development. She said something unkind to me. I let it sit. I didn't say anything. And my whole thing is I know if I stay calm and connected that I can leave the bad behavior with her. I don't need to join in her bad behavior with my bad behavior and then turn it into being about me. And then she's mad at me because I'm being an asshole and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So I just hold space for her bad behavior. I hold space for the unkindness. And she comes around every single time. And I say to her, I know you wouldn't say that to me unless something's going on. What's going on with you? I'm sorry, Mom, I'm stressed and this and that. I did get my classes for college and blah, blah, blah. And all of it comes out and I'm her safe place. And she took out her anxiety and her stress on me. Now, am I big enough and mature enough to hold space for that? Or am I going to act like a child too and join in the dysregulation and fight back and be a jerk too? I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not going to do that. Now,
there is where, but that is such a big, I mean, I think that's where most people, that's where I lose them right there. Trying to explain staying cool with when you get disrespected by your kids. It's so important that you don't fall into that because our brains are developed. We do know when we start falling into that, we feed into it and then it turns into a knockdown drag out. It's not, nobody's going to come out of that.
No, unscathed. And I love how all your skits that you do where you show the alternative. Like you really show like you don't have to go down that rabbit hole. You can pull back and stay self-regulated and be a mature person. It doesn't take a lot.
And I promise you, you know what? That kind of parenting isn't going to lead to okay. So I want to be. Let me think on this. So many times I'm like, I see you're parenting. Your kids run the house. Your kids run the household.
You let them do whatever they want.
Anything they want. And that is so far from the truth. And Drew and I have talked about this on the show. But so do your kids run your house?
No. But the beautiful thing is that I don't have to overparent them really because they regulate themselves. They don't want to disappoint me. They don't want to really do the wrong things. So they don't really get in trouble or do, off the wall things because they don't want to. They've chosen not to because we're bonded and they care what I think about them. They're not mad at me. If they're mad at me, I'm sure they would be doing all kinds of stuff.
I know. Isn't that a cool thing that when our kids do something for us, they do it literally because they really do want to. We could make our kids do anything that we wanted. We are bigger than them. We can rule the play. 19 to 16, now they're getting older, so they could stay. But,
But still, you take the phone away, you take the money away,
you
take the car
take
away.
all that. Yes.
We still have the control if we want it.
Right. That's the biggest, I think, people do not understand how they're missing out on such a deeper relationship.
Well, that's it. There's a deeper bond there that you're right, exactly right. And I think in these teenage years, especially, so many people lose their kids, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I've just kind of washed my hands. He's in his room all the time. I don't really, we take the phone away if he's being a jerk or we tell him he can't go out, we ground him, but there's no relationship there anymore because they've let go.
Yeah.
And they really are missing out on this beautiful, amazing relationship they could have with their teenagers.
Absolutely. What do you think about the the videos I'm sure you've seen? I've done some when our kids, turn 18 or when they're 25 and they need a safe place to fall back. How do you feel about, once your kids turn, I mean, are they out of the house? Do they have a place to come back? I mean, what's
Yeah,
your
I mean,
thoughts?
my oldest is in college, but she's coming back for all the holidays or whatnot. But she still calls me from college saying she'll tell me I mean, I hear it too much, by the way. Like, I hear
Hey,
about her roommate stuff and the girls
right,
down the hall that's
right there
going on,
with
and
you.
I hear
Yep,
all this stuff.
yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that's enough. But she still calls me and says, this happened and that happened, and we were at this party and this guy did that, and I hear everything because she's not scared to be in trouble. She's not scared that I'm going to judge her, and if she really gets in trouble, I know she's going to call me. Yeah, I know her friends
That's
even.
that. And that's so important because you do want to be that first phone call.
Absolutely, because you don't
You
want them asking another 18-year-old for help.
no, right, right. So do you have so with the 16-year-old, she's still
16-year-olds at home.
okay.
She got in trouble at school. My kids are not the kind of get in trouble at school kind of kids, but she
Right.
got in trouble at school, and
Okay.
the first thing she did was text me, "I got in trouble at school, Mom."
Love it.
I said, "Okay, what
I love it.
happened?" She
Yeah.
goes, I got caught cheating. I said, "Okay, you got caught cheating. What are you gonna do about it?" I
Right.
leave it on them too. I'm not gonna come in and save you and call everybody, and like, I really leave a lot of stuff on them. I said, "What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?" She's like, "I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. I've never cheated before. This is so embarrassing." I said, "Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. You're having a hard time. I know, I understand. Well, what do you want to do?" "I don't know what to do. What should I do?" I said, "I don't know. What are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
She finally said, "You know what? I'm going to apologize to my teacher. I need to apologize. I feel horrible, and I need to tell her that." And I said, "Great." I didn't call the school. I didn't intervene. Was not the helicopter mom. I also didn't punish her. She got punished at school, plenty. She got a 0 on her test. She got called into the dean's office. She got all kinds of things happening to her, and it was a beautiful lesson for her.
That is
And
so awesome. I love it.
I just stayed
And
supportive.
you just are like right there. Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I told my kids a long time ago is, I'm not going to be the parent that's, when your coach says you're not playing, if you don't start, I'm not, even if I think, and I know you probably should be, I told them, I said, it's no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to step in. And same with their teachers and things like that. Unless there was some, but I never had to do that. Of course I would if there was somebody in the wrong, hurting my kids, doing
Yeah,
something.
if your
Of course
kid's
we're going to
getting
step in.
something
Right,
hard, of
right.
course, but
Something absolutely.
usually these things they should work out because they're such beautiful places to learn things. You're sitting in the bench, maybe you have a bad coach, maybe you don't, maybe you learn about bad coaches, maybe you learn how to navigate this coach so you can get on the team. Like, who
Yeah.
knows?
Because
Who knows?
I've received the phone call too. Lindsay and I have both got the phone call from a principal at school that like, I hate to make this call, but we got to make it. Because our kids aren't. They're not they make
They're not
mistakes. They
perfect.
make
They're going to make
mistakes.
mistakes, but we want them to make mistakes, and we want them to make the mistakes now when they're young and be able to come to us. Because what if I would have said, "Pia, you're grounded. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything." Would she have gone to her
You
teacher and apologized? Would she have
Nope.
taken full responsibility, or would she have been start texting her friends, "My mom's so mean.
Yep.
I got caught." She said, and it turns into a whole different
Whole
experience.
different deal. And the next time that happens, she's going to do everything in the world she can to hide that from you, anyways, and just keep going around it. And still not the first phone call that she makes when she does get in trouble.
That's right.
And that's the whole, man, if we could just, but
Well,
I
you just
love it because you are making a difference and it is so cool to see. We need,
Well, you're right along there with me,
I,
Billy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It takes a village, right? I mean, that's what they
Yeah.
say. That's what they
We
say.
got to get it at all angles. People who appeal to me might not appeal to you, and vice versa. And we got to make sure this message is everywhere because people don't know.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They know what they know, and what I'm finding out that they know is just it's those heavy chains that they're carrying, and they don't know how to break them, and they think that's the norm. And again,
Yeah.
there's such a better way. There's such a better
Yeah.
way, and I don't mean better as in we're better. I don't mean it that way. I mean you're missing out on a better relationship with your kid,
That's it.
right?
It feels better. It
Right.
all feels better. It just feels different. This house that I've created feels so different than the one that I grew up in. And I'm so grateful for that.
It's, we've had, friends, family sleep at our house, and every time I say this in not bragging about it, but because I'm proud of it. But they leave and they tell us every time, they're like, I slept so good in your house because there was a peace in your house that I mean, we have heard that literally from so many people. And it's just when there's peace with your kids, it just, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, it makes
It
life
just,
easier.
it makes so much better. So I'm not going to keep you too much longer. Tell us so what kind of program what do you do? I mean, exactly with your coaching, because
So we have a group coaching program that's called the Connected Parent Mastermind, and we've got like 150 people in there, and we meet 3 days a week, and we meet live. I hold meetings, and my coaches hold meetings, and then we have a plethora of online materials that you can access at any time. So that's like our signature program that we adore that program. It's like a little safe haven on the internet.
love
And
it.
then I do private coaching. My coaches do private coaching, and we hold events about 3 or 4 times a year. And right now we're doing a 30-day challenge, so you can take a glimpse into our program for 30 days and see what you think. And that's about it. And I've got a book called Unpunished, and a
Is it
podcast.
out?
It's out. It's been out
It's
for almost 2 years, a year and a half.
unpunished. Okay.
Unpunished, no
Unpunished.
punishment. It's my story plus the ideas behind connected parenting.
Unpunished. I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh, I would be checking that book out.
I'll send it to you.
Unpunished. Please do.
Yeah.
I would love to read that. And
Yeah.
but no, thank you so much for taking time today and just, I mean, sharing your story, because it's like I said, this isn't about perfect. We're doing it the right way. We want people to experience the best relationships that they can with their kids, because it doesn't last forever. And when they leave the house, they are in control of how, they're going to remember how we treated them in that relationship. And it's,
They get to
that's,
choose.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Thank
you have yourself, thank you so much. Seriously, look up to you and love seeing all your stuff. I really, really do. You are super inspiring, Michelle.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I really appreciate it. And
Yep.
keep it going. My kids adore you too.
Oh man, well, tell them I said do better. And
Yeah,
yeah, we
I love
will.
that. They're like,
Yes,
they'll say that. Do better.
that's it. And know that it's not. I'm not telling. We're all in this together. We're all inspiring.
We can all do better. Listen,
Yeah,
I mess up still. I still mess up, and I can
yeah.
do all the time.
I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. It's
Yeah.
not about, yeah. It's about. I tell that to myself, as well.
Do
So
better. Me too.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, Michelle. We will talk
All
soon.
right.
All right. Looking
Okay.
forward to that
Thank
book
you.
too. All right.
Okay, I will.
Thank you. Bye bye.